Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Um, I know my lighting's a little bit fucked up, but I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with this shit yet. So bear with me. Sorry, how I look doesn't really matter. My words is what I want you to hear. Doing this reading for people who are dealing with cancer. Now, for those of you that are dealing with the cancer, okay, sorry. Understand my readings are not for everybody. Take whatever resonates. What doesn't resonate, please leave it. Don't make a situation out of nothing. And if you're happy and loved, then please don't listen to my readings, because most of this shit is focused on healing your relationship or healing yourself. So yeah. Again, it's interchangeable, so take it how it resonates for you. But some of you need to surrender unhealthy relationships, and you have to release the old patterns. Okay, so whatever it is that you've been doing or you've been dealing with, and it's been like ongoing, and maybe it is you have a bad habit of dating the wrong person or doing the wrong things or giving too much, you have to start releasing the old patterns. Okay, so whatever it was that you were raised with, your belief set, whatever it is, you have to start breaking those molds. Okay, because as long as you're holding on to that, that's what's going to keep you bound and stuck in these unhealthy, toxic relationships. So if your relationship is with the cancer and it is toxic as fuck, or vice versa, one of you is the toxic one, that needs to get released. Or if you're trying to leave one situation to go into another, however it is, but whatever toxicity you have around you, you have to start feeling. When I say feeling, it's pay attention when you're around people. Are these people draining your energy? Like after you leave them, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel happy? Or do you feel like, I'm fucking pissed off, I'm sad, they just drained the fuck out of me, I'm tired? You have to pay attention to how these people make you feel, because then it'll be easier to distinguish between this is a good person for me, this is a bad person for me, okay? So you have to really start paying attention to that and try to find more positive, uplifting people. If you're trying to change, you have to change your environment. You have to change the people you're dealing with. You have to change all of these things, because it's hard to sit there and start working on yourself, start creating self love for yourself and self acceptance and taking care of you when you're in a toxic environment, because the toxicity isn't going to be gone. And if you were not at the beginning stages of this, then it's something that you might be able to deal with. But at the beginning, it's hard for you to sit here and try to build yourself up and find your self confidence and your self love and become who you want to become when you still have opposite forces. You know, they're opposing what you're trying to do. And it's like a battle, a battle, a battle. You're not going to get anywhere that way. So sometimes you have to separate yourself. And when I say separate, I always tell people it doesn't have to be forever. It's your fucking choice. Stay forever, leave forever, whatever. But you have to start finding your self love and your self worth. And there are situations in life that happen that take that away from you. You know, you start feeling less lovable. You start feeling like you're worthless because you end up with these people that are toxic. And it's not that it's you, they're fucked up themselves. So, in them being fucked up, they're sharing it. Sadly, they're projecting it onto you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can only imagine. I don't mess with cancers like that. I, I stay away from that. um, so, really start focusing on your self love. And if you have been in this situation where this person just makes you feel bad about yourself, and you know it hasn't been good, and you've had past experiences, you have to start healing that and acknowledge how you allowed these people to treat you, and you allowed this to occur, and you allow it to continue. Okay, you can't blame other people. You have to take ownership of what has happened in your life and take accountability for that. You know, it's easy for us to point fingers at other people and say, oh well, they did this to me and they made me feel that way. Yeah, okay, fine and dandy, but ultimately you gave them that power. You gave your power to somebody else. You have to take your power back, because only you can change your life. Only you can make yourself happy and be in a better place. As long as you keep giving your power to these people, to these relationships, and they're no good for you, they're going to keep sucking the life out of you. Okay, so you have to start detaching and start working on loving who you are, And not just the good parts, not the pretty parts. No, the ugly parts, the parts that you don't want to share with people, the parts you don't want anybody to know about. You have to start loving those and integrating it together. Okay. We are dark and we're light. We have good, we have bad. We have all of this within us. And we need both of them to be here. We can't have one without the other. Okay. So you have to start integrating these two energies, your masculine and your feminine. And I know it's easy for me to sit here and tell you, oh, you need to do this. This is what needs to happen. But believe me, I've been on my healing path. I've been integrating my energies and I've been accepting a lot of shit throughout my life. Okay. And I know most of y'all probably like, I don't know her, but people that have been following me, I've shared a lot of my stories, a lot of my life experiences, and I've had a very rough life. So for me to be able to take accountability was hard. For me to sit there and tell myself that I didn't love myself, that I was worthless to myself, is the hardest thing you're ever gonna fucking do. So really, like, sit in the fucking mirror and look at yourself, a good hard look at yourself, and be honest with yourself. Why do you feel this way? Why do you let people walk all over you? Is it because that's how you grew up? You weren't allowed to have a voice? Is it because you were traumatized? They took it from you? Whatever it is, you have to face that and you have to make peace with it. So if it was you were vulnerable and somebody took advantage of you, accept it. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of pain and a lot of crying that goes into this. But I promise you, once you go through this, you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to release this and you're going to feel so much better about yourself. And you're not going to allow the bullshit. You're not going to allow the toxic relationships. You're not going to allow this shit to come back into your life. But you have to start setting boundaries and letting people know, like, nah, this ain't happening. Like, I'm not that person anymore. But you have to love yourself enough to know that you're worth having those boundaries and having those standards. And anyone that wants to be with you will know that you're worth the effort and the work that needs to go into the connection. Okay. So as much as this is a big thing. It's a big part. You have to be present. Okay. Don't live in the past. Don't live in what's happened before. Don't allow any of that to get into your head. I don't care if it is a person, if it's a fucked up, traumatizing situation, whatever it is, it's only there because we allow it to be there. If you think about our lives, our emotions, they come and they go, and all we have are memories. So we can only feel angry and sad if we're living in those memories. We keep on replaying them. You have to get out of that. Focus on the positive. Focus on being here and now, because the more you're present, the less you're worried about what happened before. And it's easier to get over it because you're not thinking about it. You know, when we get hurt, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. And we focus on it and we keep replaying it and we keep going through it. And we're torturing ourselves. We're literally fucking torturing ourselves and driving ourselves crazy. Release it and say, you know what? It happened. I'm sad. I'm fucking crying about it. Cool. You know, do that. Cry about it. Be pissed off about it. Punch a fucking pillow. Get it out of you. And then after that, don't go back to those memories. Let it go. Pretend to shit not be like, okay, I dealt with it. I released it. Now I'm moving forward with my life. If something happens to come back up and it's something that needs to be addressed, then address it at that time. But don't stay in that. Don't stay in that, okay? So Spirit wants you to focus on your blessings. And like I said, we don't realize that being able to see, being able to hear, speak, have a house, have fucking internet, have a phone are all blessings. And a lot of people don't have these blessings. So don't take these things for granted. You know, wake up in the morning and say, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for being healthy. I'm grateful for all of these things. And it slowly starts changing your mindset to a more positive mindset. So work on that, okay? And some of you have been getting messages. It's probably a lot of animals. Like you might be seeing the same animal over and over again, or maybe running across when you're walking, or maybe you almost walked into a fucking animal. But if you've been seeing the same spirit animal, look up the meaning of that animal, because they're saying right now, your guides are trying to give you a message. Okay. So if you're continually seeing the same shit, the same animals, whatever it is, look it up, see what that is and see what it means and see how it applies to your life, because they're trying to get to you. That's what they're showing me right now, is that they're trying to get to you through the animals. So they don't want you to rush whatever this is. If this is a situation that you're trying to get out of, You have to be true to yourself. And when I say true to yourself, you be honest. It's not, I'm going to please this person or I'm going to do this because this is what's going to make everybody else happy and feel good. No, you have to do what's going to make you feel good and what's going to make you happy, and everything else will fall into place. Okay. You can't sit there and keep wearing masks for the rest of your fucking life and expect to be happy, because when you wear masks, you're attracting the wrong people to you. When you start taking off your mask, that's when your soul tribe starts coming to you. That's when the right people come and connect to you. So don't be afraid to say no to people. Don't be afraid to say, no, I'm not doing that. No, I can't help you. Say no. No is a complete fucking sentence. It requires no explanation to anybody. You don't owe anyone any explanations. Say no and leave it at that. If you feel like giving an explanation, then cool. But you don't have to, okay? You are strong enough to do this. I have faith in you. Believe me, I know it's hard, but you can do this. Focus on success. Don't focus on the failures, because a lot of us have the tendency of focusing on the what if everything goes wrong. Focus on the what if this goes right. What if this takes off? This is going to be amazing. Start being positive. Start programming your mind to be positive. There's a book that I read called The 5-Second Rule. It's a good book. You haven't read it, pick it up. You know, it's good for people that are going through things, that have issues with making decisions or trusting their intuition, or shit, even when you're depressed and don't want to get out of fucking bed, you know, because basically it's just you count down almost like a rocket ship. You go from 5 all the way down to 1. And then when you get to 1, you get up and you make a physical movement for whatever it is you're trying to do. And you keep doing that. You know, basically once you get to 1, you know, that's it. There's no other number back after that. You just go and make a move. So focus on that, because you will be successful. You just have to love yourself enough to set these boundaries, because some relationships don't go the way we want them to go, because there's lessons that we need to learn. And there's lessons the other individual has to learn. So as you're learning and they're learning, there's shit that's going on between the both of you that neither one of you are like fully aware that these are lessons that need to take place. So if it was a bad situation, understand there was something to learn in it. If this has been something that's been recurrent, there's something you're missing. You're not learning. You're not paying attention to what's going on. But you have to find the self-love and the self-respect, because people are only going to do what you allow them to do. And if you're going to be really soft and kind-hearted and let people take advantage of you, sadly, people are going to fucking take advantage of you, because that's what people fucking do. It's shitty, but it's real life. It's what happens. Once you start setting boundaries and you start showing them like, no, you're either going to respect me or it's not going to happen, that's when things start changing, because then they're like, oh shit, I got to get my shit together. Oh shit, I got to step my game up, because they're not playing games with me no more. They're going to leave my ass and that's it. I'm going to be out back and they're going to go be happy with somebody else. Sometimes those are the wake up calls that people need. So set the boundaries, because they are showing me there is going to be a rebirth. So if you are already in this relationship, don't be afraid to set those boundaries. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid, and don't let people stop you from changing. It is your fucking life. Don't let anyone control you or tell you you can't do anything. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But it is going to be a rebirth to the partnership. So if you guys have been together and this has been an ongoing theme, start cutting shit off. Don't let it keep going. And pride, whether it's you or the other individual, there's a lot of pride in the situation that's hindering it. Now, when you come from a place of pride, sometimes pride is good. You know, it's necessary. You're prideful. You're proud of the things that you do, the things that you create. You know, maybe you did a good job. Cool. But when you're prideful in the sense of, nah, they played me, they did this to me, they did that to me, I'm not talking to them no more because they did this, that's not the right kind of pride, because we all fuck up. There's no one in this fucking world that's perfect. And you have to look at your past situations, you know, because karma is very real and it comes back. So look at what you've done to other people. Look at what has happened and see what karma has come back to you. See what you have suffered through. Because when all of this is happening, then you're able to say, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be so prideful and talking shit to them, because you know what? I did do this to my last person. And now it's just kind of coming back to me. So you know what it feels like. And then you're able to correct it and do better. So if you're holding on to your pride, or they are, that needs to get released because it's only going to hinder the relationship, okay? And again, with the recognition, this will they will be recognized and it will go into where you want it to go, but you have to do the hard work. It's really hard and it's dirty, but it's well worth it, okay? Because right now they're showing that there's an emotional loss. And when people start taking advantage of you and they start sucking you fucking dry, it is an emotional loss because you start feeling bad about yourself. You don't feel loved. You don't feel like that's what you want to keep doing. And if you really love this individual, it's going to take time, but your guides are with you. And even though right now you probably feel like you don't have the fucking strength in you to handle this or even move forward with this, they're there to help you. Just call on them because they're waiting for you. They're going to help you through this. So don't feel like it's a bad thing, but you will be rewarded at the end of this, okay? They are encouraging you and they want you to look at things from a different perspective. Because when you start doing that and you're able to identify with other people and see things from their point of view, or maybe they had a hard upbringing or whatever it is that they went through in life that caused them to be this way, it'll help you to find the compassion and have the understanding in being able to deal with this and not come at them like, yo, why the fuck are you such a piece of shit? Why you keep fucking playing games with me? You know, when you understand like, oh, you know what? Their parents had a fucked up relationship. So that's what they understand as being a good relationship. You know, maybe they didn't learn how to talk and communicate effectively. You have to go through these things with these people and talk to them and see where they're at, because when you understand someone's life, you're able to put yourself in their shoes. And when you do that, you can see things from their point of view and you can say, okay, I can see why this person reacted this way. And it's not because they want to hurt somebody. You know, people don't want to hurt other people unless they're really a piece of shit. But it's because they're afraid and they don't know how else to get to where they want to go without lying or being deceptive in some way. So you have to start helping and breaking out of that, you know, and you're not mommy, you're not daddy, you know, that your mom should have did a better fucking job. Yes, all facts. But you know, you can't change how people grow up and what people hold on to, you know, because that's how people deal with things, that's how they cope, and that's what they've known their whole life. And sometimes when people get to a certain point, they just don't see the purpose in changing. So you have to work with them. And it's easier when you come from a place of love and patience as opposed to constantly bitching at them and telling them they're a piece of shit, because realistically nobody wants to hear that. You know, I'm willing to work with you if you're going to be compassionate. If you're going to be a dickhead, I'm not fucking with you. So, but in doing that, you guys will come back together. Okay, so it is going to take a little bit of time and it does take a change in perspective, but be encouraging to each other, be supportive of each other, because in doing this, it builds a stronger bond between you guys and it's a firmer foundation, okay? Because there's a lot of compassion and excuse me. So one of you is very compassionate. Maybe you've accomplished a lot, you have a lot of degrees, you know, you do what you set your mind to, you go and you do it. The other person is probably a little bit more like they study a lot, they're probably always joking around, and they're more responsible. So however this is, you know, one of you is very gifted. So take everything as it, you know, do what you're supposed to be doing right now and working on you, but be assertive with what it is that you want. And always stand in your truth. Don't budge, don't be afraid. Even if your voice is fucking shaking and you're speaking, don't be afraid. Say it, because once you say it, that's it. It's already out and you fuck it. We'll see what happens. But the more you keep it inside, the more resentment, the more regrets, all that shit builds up inside of you because you're like, damn, I wish I would have said this or I should have done that. I should have. Nah, say it, spit it out, get it out your fucking life. Don't worry about that, okay? And whatever it is that you're working on right now, everything's going to work out good. It's going to go as planned. So if this is business stuff, work stuff, maybe a promotion, maybe getting a new job or a scholarship if you're planning on going back to school, but you are going to get it, is going to come through for you. So that's a plus. Make sure you're not overspending, especially with all this bullshit and the fucking coronavirus. Be careful with how you're spending your money. Don't be on Amazon buying everything in the fucking world, okay? And find a balance of saving and spending. So if you're a person that likes shopping, or maybe you got a shoe habit, cut it back a little bit. Maybe you'd be like, maybe I can buy one pair of shoes. I don't need every single color. Okay? Because that'll be beneficial to you. And also be willing to help other people, because like I said, other people don't have what we have. Other people are not as fortunate. So don't be afraid to say, oh, here's a couple dollars, or here's some food, here's some water, whatever it is, reach out and help somebody that needs the help. Okay? Because again, with the awareness of you knowing that you need to work on yourself, you're going to come out of the darkness that you've been holding yourself in and start participating in life more and being more open to receiving other people and other energies and interacting and having a more social life. You're going to be successful. Okay. So however this is between you and this individual, I don't know if they try to keep you stuck in the house all the time, but if that's what it is, you have to break out of that. Okay. Because they're showing me a key. Now, when I see the key, I just think of you are the person who controls that. You open the door, you let yourself in, you let yourself out. You do that. Nobody else does it for you. Okay. Because they're showing a well as well. Now, when I see the well, it's a wishing well. It's something that tells me that whatever it is that you've been thinking about, that you've been wanting to come, and if it is money, it is coming to you. Okay. So don't give up, because it is going to change, but you have to get out of your own ways. You have to stop stopping yourself. You have to open that gate and keep going through it, because there's no one there. There's no guard that's like, nah, you can't go through. It's just you. For some of you, there are children. There's about 4 children and maybe another one on the way. And others, this is a same-sex relationship. But there is balance coming, financial balance, abundance that is coming. There's going to be a new beginning in that. Okay. And for some, the person is very authoritative, controlling, very rigid in the way that they do things. Everything has to kind of be this way, this way, this way, this way. It can't really fluctuate any other way. Okay. So whoever this is that you're dealing with, that's what it is. And if you're separated from this individual, because some of you, I think, are still in the relationship that you're going to be working on it, but others of you are not together with this person. And they're afraid that you won't take this person, that you won't take them back. Hello, the Verte. Sorry, I don't want to sabotage your name. So yeah, they feel bad because they probably treated you like shit. And for so long, the longer somebody treats you like shit, or the longer somebody tells you something, the more you start to believe it about yourself. And it's sad, but it's very true, So you have to start paying attention to how you let people speak to you. But they really feel bad for the way that they spoke to you, because they know you don't deserve that. They know that you deserve better. That's why they don't know if you're willing to take them back now. And maybe they're not as expressive about their feelings as they should be, and maybe didn't express them when it was important for them to express it to you. So if that's the case, you have to decide how you want to go about this, and communication is going to play a big part. It's very important for the communication to take place between you guys, so that way things can progress. Because now you may be afraid of the intimacy, the connection of allowing someone back into your heart because of the pain that you've already experienced. Or maybe the person you're dealing with is feeling this way. One of you. But either way, you have to look at your life and see what, I want to say triggers, because there are points in our life, there's certain things that we develop to protect us. We think that it's protecting us when we start building up our walls and like, oh no, I'm not letting you in. You this is as far as you go, like right here. And we don't let love in. We don't let anybody get close to us, and we shut everything down. You have to start breaking those walls down. You have to start seeing why you built those barriers and how you can break those down within yourself in the process of healing it to allow love in. And don't think I say this lightly or like it's fucking easy, because it isn't easy, especially if you're already afraid and you've already been hurt and, you have a history of being hurt. It's hard because you're just like, I don't trust you. I think you're full of shit. You're going to break my fucking heart. And I don't got the energy for this again, because I can't deal with no more heartbreak. Start recognizing when you start pushing people away, stop yourself. Don't keep pushing, okay? Because we'll have the habit of, as soon as we get defensive or something happens, we'll start pushing people away and we won't let them get close to us. That's not going to help you. It's not going to bring you a relationship, because it's like, I want the relationship, but I'm not going to let you in. You have to choose one or the other. You want it or you don't want it. You can't be like this, because it's fucking confusing to everybody. But you have to own your beauty. You have to own your brilliance. You have to own what you bring to the table and know that you're worth it, okay? And sometimes being open and playing the fool and taking the leap of faith and trying something different, even though you don't know how it's going to turn out, is what people need, okay? That's the new beginning. It's just like taking that risk and saying, fuck it. You always can walk away. You never ever stuck. You can always walk away from a situation. And they're saying everything is happening as it's meant to happen right now. So however things may appear, no matter how crazy, fucked up, whatever it is, it's happening the way spirit wants it to happen for you. So be patient with it and allow synchronicity to take its place. Allow karma, lessons, whatever it is that's happened, allow those things to kind of marinate and work on the individual, because you don't want something where you're not healed, they're not healed, or you haven't let go of certain things and they haven't, and you're bringing all of that into a relationship, because now you both have baggage from past shit that's gonna tarnish the relationship. You both have to release that. You have to let it go. Okay. And again, coming from a compassionate place is going to be the highest and the best thing for this, because aggression isn't going to do it. So don't do that. And again, stop trying. If you've been trying and putting in and you're like trying to make this connection work or come back into fruition, give the shit time, let it rock. Just be like, all right, you know what? They have their shit they need to learn and go through. I have my shit that I'm working on. And when it's time, it'll happen again, okay? Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen, but you have to start flowing with life. You have to start going with what's going on. If you find there's too much resistance, there's always another way, okay? There's always another way to get to where you're trying to go. It's like if you're climbing a mountain, you know, you're trying to get to the other side. There's a mountain in your way. You can go up the mountain, which is going to be fucking a struggle. Or you can go around the mountain, which will be a little bit easier, maybe take a little bit longer, but it's going to be an easier path. So acknowledge when you're getting resistance and kind of take a step back and see how else you can go about this without having all of that resistance, okay? Because when you're able to do that, you're able to calm yourself and focus. You're able to see things differently and find another solution to it. And I don't know if you meditate or not, and I'm not good for sitting meditations. I'm good for walking outside or doing qigong or shit like that meditations. So if you're better with being physical and like focusing that way, then do that, okay? Take them, do it every day. You know, 10, 15 minutes. It's cold where you're at. Bundle up, you know, go outside, enjoy the weather. But they want you to come out. They want you to find who you are and stop hiding yourself, okay? Be who you truly are. And whatever, like I said, find different solutions, different perspectives, but come out of your cocoon. Don't be so closed off that you're not letting people see who you really are. You have to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. If you have kids, husband, parents, whatever the fuck, you have to take care of you. Without taking care of you, you can't keep giving, okay? Because you're going to be depleted at some point, and who the fuck is going to give to you? Most of the time, nobody. Nobody gives to us. We just give and give and give and give. But there are other solutions. So if you feel like you've been stuck and you're just like, I can't make this work, I can't figure this out, there is a way around it. You just have to give yourself a peace of mind. You have to center yourself and find quiet so that you can get around this, okay? And like I said, be truly who you. It keeps coming up. I know I get some of the stuff I keep repeating, but it's the cards because they keep coming up. So I keep saying it because it's important, apparently. You need to hear it. So you have to be truly who you are. And whatever it is that you're doing, do it in moderation. I'm the type of person, once I start doing something, whether it's healing, working on me, I'm like bombarded with shit. I'm like, you know, we're going to do 20 things at one time. For me, that's how I function. But it's a lot. So if you're not trying to heal all of it at one time, pick a subject, you know, say, okay, you know what, I'm going to heal childhood wounds. I'm going to heal abusive relationships. I'm going to heal mommy issues. I'm going to heal my daddy issues. Take something, chip away at it slowly. It doesn't have to be all at one time, But the more you chip away at it, it's going to help with your personal growth. It's going to help with your understanding. It's going to help with your healing and being able to have healthier connections with people. Okay. Because you want to have the good people in your life. You want to have people that are beneficial and healthy for you. But there is truth that's coming out. So if it's judgment that's been called on the situation, whatever it is, there is going to be a balance restored, but you have to trust your intuition because they're saying the most, it's going to pick up. The momentum is going to start picking up. So whatever it is that you're working on right now, whether it is the connection, it's going to start picking up. For some of you, it's a process of like you're so shut down, you're so closed off right now to this connection, to even allowing somebody in. But that's the process. It's once you start coming apart. And again, I say coming apart because sometimes we have to break down completely before we start rebuilding ourselves. And that's with anything. If you take a building that's been abandoned and run down and beaten for however long, yeah, you can try to restore it, but there's going to be all types of patchwork and, the structure's fucked up, the foundation is faulty. You have to look at it like that. So it's better to just tear it down and then build on a new, fresh foundation. So look at it that way. Don't look at it as you're fucking falling apart and it's going to be horrible. Look at it as you're going to come back together and you're going to be a better version of yourself, as it like a butterfly, because that's what they're showing me, a butterfly. So it's going to be a transformation for you, and you're going to be open to receiving spirit and receiving the messages that they're giving to you. So again, we have the Six of Wands here. So you are going to be getting good news soon. And you might have some options. Now you have to be smart with the choices that you have and always choose the best option for you, not for somebody else or what somebody else wants you to choose. And for some of you, it may be public recognition. So it could be something to do with work or something to do with school, however it is, but there is going to be success. And again, with the renewal, there is going to be a renewal to this relationship. So if this has been a marriage that's been like, it's going to change. Okay. But you have to create change. You can't keep doing the same shit over and over and over and expect it to be different. It's not going to happen. Something needs to change. So if you're the one that has to initiate and create it, then you initiate and create it. If they're not willing to go with the flow and change with you, then find somebody else that's willing to work with you and do that. Okay. But stop judging yourself and don't judge other people. Like I said, we've all fucked up. None of us are perfect. So don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself because you're not perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. And I'm sure the person you're dealing with is far from perfect too. So when you start looking at life that way, you have less judgments and you're just like, you accept things as they are. Look at people as trees. We don't look at trees and be like, damn, you know what, this tree's a little bit fat, let me trim it down. Or this tree's a little bit crooked, let me straighten it out. We look at the trees and we're like, okay, this is how this tree is. We accept the tree as it is and it's a beautiful tree. That's how you have to look at people. You accept them for who they are, what they are. Don't try to change other people. Only they can change themselves. You work on you, you focus on you, and that's going to help you create the life that you want. Okay, just accept them. Don't try to change things. But one of you is carrying a lot of burden, or you're working too much, or you're studying too much. Whatever it is that you're doing, there's too many responsibilities right now. So maybe you need to delegate a little bit or take a step back and say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to take all of this on anymore. You're going to deal with your shit. You're going to deal with your shit, and I'm going to deal with my shit. And when you're done dealing with your shit, if you feel like taking on other people's shit and helping them, then that's different. But until then, you have to start saying no. You have to start protecting your energy and finding your self-love and saying, you know what, for me today, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to entertain you. I'm not going to do this because I don't feel like doing it. And it's going to be you breaking out of this conditioning. Like I said, a lot of the shit we have is because that's what we grew up with. Our parents taught us to be a certain way. Maybe if they raised you to be a people pleaser or never speak up, or you weren't allowed to defend yourself because they'd whoop your ass, whatever it was, you have to break all these old habits, because once you do that, your growth is going to be immense, and you're also going to come into your consciousness. So don't hold on to things that are not beneficial. Like really sit down with yourself and look at what your morals, your values are today. and look at what they were maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I'm sure they've changed because they change. As we change, our morals and our values change. So look at it, write it down, and reflect on it and say, you know what? Maybe these things need to change. Maybe this isn't the right way to look at this. Maybe my parents didn't know what was best, because our parents only know what they were raised with. And if they didn't, if you come from a place of poverty, like from the hood, and your parents got a fucking 8th or ninth grade education, that's as far, that's as mature as they got mentally. That's where they stopped, and then they started having kids. You have to think about when you were in 8th or ninth grade, your mentality, and then having a child or trying to raise a child at that age, what you're teaching that child. So they're only teaching you what they knew. And if they didn't have the information that we're capable of having now, like we have access to fucking everything, our parents didn't have that. So now you can change. Now you can heal. Now you can work on things that your parent wasn't able to do. And it'll heal your generations past, your generations future. All of that is going to happen. But you have to be willing to put the work in, because I promise you, that's when your consciousness and everything else is going to open up. And your maturity is going to be awesome. It's going to blossom so much. But you have to break the conditioning, and that's the hardest thing to do, because we get so programmed and we get so worried about other people and what they think, that we put ourselves in these places and we're just like, why am I here? Why am I miserable? Fuck this shit. So please work on that, because there, again, I got the Sun card. And like I said, if I keep repeating shit, it's because literally the cards just keep coming out that way. But there is going to be a new beginning, so don't feel bad. And they're showing me a ring, so some of you might be getting an engagement or married, whatever is going to happen, but there is a proposal that's coming. So whether it's not like a commitment for a relationship, then it is going to be a contract of some sort, from either a job, a house, a car, whatever it is, but it is coming. Okay, because they're showing me a lot of blessings and a lot of abundance that's going to be coming your way. So don't hold yourself back because you're so caught up in the way you were brought up. Okay, let that shit go, because you have the 10 of Cups here. So it's going to be a great reunion, but there's a decision that needs to be made. And make sure that when you're getting the offer, because it looks like they're going to give you something, but they're giving you like what you want, what you're asking for right now, not all of it, not everything. So make sure that you're getting everything that you want. So whatever it is, even if you feel like it might be to ask, okay, if you don't ask, you're never going to know. Always ask. Don't be afraid, because if it's not for you, then it's better to know up front than to fucking wait 10 years and waste your life. So don't be afraid. Don't shut down shit because you're like, I don't know if I should ask, if I shouldn't ask. Because you get the 10 of Cups, okay? This is what's going to happen. You get the 10 of Cups. Your life is going to come out the way you want it to, but you have to be willing to put the work in. So whoever this person is, you know, forgiveness is going to play a major factor, and they feel bad. Whoever this is genuinely feels really shitty about whatever the fuck it is that they did for you, they did to you, not for you, because nobody wants this done for them. I wouldn't. And, you know, they don't, I feel like they speak to you very negatively. They talk down to you, and that's not good. You know, you have to stop that shit. You'd be like, nah, you can't talk to me respectfully. Don't say shit to me, or I'm gonna punch you in your fucking mouth. I don't condone violence. Don't take that advice. But really, you know, and the fact that you still love this person after all of this, that says a lot about you and your character, and that you have a really good and big, kind heart. And people take advantage of that, and they will shit on you every chance they fucking get. Stop allowing it, okay? Because I promise you, once you stop, you're going to see how powerful you are and how amazing the life is that you can create for yourself, okay? So please love yourself, work on yourself, heal yourself. You're going to be grateful for it in the long run. I know you're probably like, man, that's a lot of shit. You're going to be grateful. I promise you. Your solar plexus, that's the chakra that came out for you guys to work on. So if you need to work on that, please do. And I pulled some crystal cards for you guys. If you have crystals, because I know some people probably like, I don't know what the fuck a crystal is or what it's for. Healing crystals, they help you. They bring a different form of energy, like celestite is connection to the angelic realm and divine energy. Clear your channels for communication with your guides and universal consciousness. So this will be a good card for you, especially if you're working on healing, because it'll help your guides to connect with you more and give you the messages that you've probably been missing Because that's why I say when people come and they watch me, I'm just like, okay, you're not getting your messages. You're missing something. You're not paying attention. So they're like, here, verbally, you're going to hear it. You're going to see it. Lithium quartz, harmoniousness, peacefulness, joyful interconnectedness. So if you're trying to definitely work on this relationship, you get it for you, get it for them, get it for both of you, whatever it is. But like I said, I love my crystals because I know a lot of the time if I'm working on certain things, I will wear them all the time until it's like, okay, now let's shift to another crystal. Orange sapphire, joy and sensuality, respecting your body and body love. So if you are ashamed of your body or feel like you're not pretty enough or you're not good enough, you need to let that go. Okay. Because this stigma of we need to be a fucking size 0 with a fat ass and the size D chest, like whatever the fuck, let that go. We're all very unique individuals. We're all very different. And you need to love all of you and how the fuck you are and fuck how anybody else looks at you. It doesn't matter. Okay. Because you are who you are and you're the way you are for a reason. Love yourself. Okay. Don't let other people make you feel bad, especially about your fucking body. Like, fuck that shit. Don't do it. But those are your messages. I'm going to pull some angel cards. These are angel answer cards. I'll probably pull 3, so focus on a question. And most of you probably like, I didn't have a fucking question. But focus on a question while I shuffle and we'll see what the answer is. Oh, too many cards. Being stubborn, are we? Oh, here we go. So they're saying big happy changes are coming. So if that was one of your questions you're wondering about, it is going to happen. Now I'm going to pull another one. Oh. It's up to you. And this is going to be the last one. And success. So these are 3 very positive cards, because like I said, you have the choice to make whatever you want happen. You just really have to believe that you're capable of having it and make it happen. Okay. And I know it's hard if you come from a background of lack and like, I could never have anything. You can't. You just have to change your mindset. Okay. So start doing that. And I know I'll be back on here. I don't know if I'll be back on here tonight because I got to finish mad other readings, but at some point. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I really hope that you gain something from this and it gives you some form of clarity. Have a good night, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.